from the First Street Studios in South Tampa, Florida, it's time for another round of Last Call 76 with your host, Dan, Jay, and behind the camera, the one and only Jess.
Talk about storylines. This next game.
How about storylines? You need to quit coughing and getting me sick, bro, but go ahead.
And I was coughing at all this BS talk about Dallas running the football, man. I was so mad I coughed and walked off.
Man, we're talking football, wild card weekend, right?
True. Super wild card.
And you're turning this into some kind of racing event called the Corona 500. Get back on track. Let's go.
All right, back on track. Storyline 2 that doesn't involve physical ailments and BS beaters. Rams, Lions. Matthew Stafford returns.
What is all this? What is with all this scripting? Like, it seems like this is all like orchestrated.
Oh, think about it.
I'm not no conspiracy theory, but all these games are aligning with all these emotional ties.
Think about Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff.
Yeah. And how about, and then we just talked about some of the other games too. It's just crazy. Like Mike McCarthy's playing his former team in Dallas now. It's just, you can't script it no better.
No, think about it. And by the way, Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford both got coronavirus the same week.
And then we just talked about that. Stop that, dude. Stop coughing. Keep moving on. Let's get to this Detroit Rams game because I think this is a very interesting game, very interesting matchup. And I'll tell you why. Because the Rams came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing so good right now. And then Detroit, they came back. Of course, they won, right? But they lost the Dallas game.
Right.
So tell me about it. What do you think? Too close to call, man.
Detroit is one of those teams that can be an absolute nightmare in this playoffs. Dan, when I tell you Detroit is a nightmare, I could legitimately see the Lions representing the NFC on Super Bowl Sunday.
Easy.
They've got a very good running game. They have
a two-punch running.
They've got a two-punch running with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, it's like 1,800 yards total rushing between the two of them in reception drive. That's insane.
Exactly. Their offensive line is one of the best in the league. St. Brown, to me, is the best wide receiver in the NFL that nobody talks about. I would put him in my top 6 easily. Sam Laporta, stud. That defensive line, that pass rush is mean. Aiden Hutchinson is all over the damn field. This Lions team is really nasty. And they could make things, I mean, I could see them beating San Francisco. I could see them beating Dallas. No disrespect intended to your Cowboys.
Why is it all of a sudden my Cowboys?
Well,
I'd let them back in my life.
All right, well.
Because Jimmy Johnson got put in the ring.
As an unbiased perspective, I could see them beating anybody in the NFC.
Absolutely.
But the problem with that is, this is the worst possible matchup they could have got.
100%. And let me cut you there. I'll tell you why. The Rams have nothing to lose. They started this season out not looking so great. They put the pieces together. Cooper Kupp's back now.
Yeah.
They got a potential rookie of the year in, help me out.
Oh, Puka Nacua.
Yeah, I just didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah, I understand.
Say it again.
Puka Nacua, BYU.
BYU, 4th rounder.
Right.
Dude, this is a dangerous football team. I mean, and we didn't really get a good look last week because they rested. So we saw some Carson Wentz going on there with who do they play over there? The 49ers.
Oh, God, Sam Darnold.
Come on, man. So we don't really know what that game looks like if they get through Detroit. But I'm going to leave it pretty short. I think Detroit, especially being motivated after the Michigan National Championship game, Detroit needs this.
Right.
Michigan needed that. They're going to be very motivated. They're going to be hard to beat at home. I'm going Detroit. I have to. I'm going Detroit, and I'm going to keep it modest. I'm going Detroit by 6. I think the Rams are too dangerous. Their defense is playing great. Their offense is playing great. The receiving core, you're talking a Super Bowl champion,
right?
In Stafford, who's been hurt. He come back playing really good football. It's not a game that you just say Detroit wins by 20.
No.
You would be irresponsible to say that. 6 points is where I'm at. I can't go no lower, can't go no higher. It's kind of like Dave Portnoy, man. One bite, everybody knows the rules.
Yeah.
So, and you judge a team.
Yep.
And you give it a score.
Yep.
And they played great against Dallas with some unfortunate stuff there that happened at the end. We'll get to that in another conversation. But you got to be real, bro. There's not enough playability on the field to separate them enough more than 6 points, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
I'm going to go on the same record here, though, and I'm going to disagree with you.
That's fine.
I think this is the most dangerous matchup Detroit could have got, but I'm going to flip that as well. I think everything I said about Detroit, I give the same avenue to the Rams.
100%.
I think whoever wins this game could wind up representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. Here's where I give the Rams a huge advantage. Been there, done that. Detroit secondary has some glaring holes.
They do.
The Rams can pick them apart, not just with Cooper Kupp, but we saw with Puka Nacua, who had set a rookie record for most receptions and most receiving yards
In the history.
in the history of the NFL. Kyron Williams has stepped up and run the football very well. And here's the thing I mentioned about Detroit's pass rush. There is not a better quarterback in the league than Matthew Stafford when under pressure. The more you hit him, the better he gets. And don't think for 1 minute Stafford ain't going. And I know Goff can say the Lions traded, or the Lions gave me a chance, the Rams gave up on me. Don't think for a minute, though. Stafford ain't coming in there with a wild goose hair about, listen, you never built this kind of team around me. Now I'm going to show you what I've done. Mm-hmm. And to me, in a game like this, experience counts. This is a Lions' first playoff game since, 2016, 2017? The Rams have been to a couple Super Bowls since then. And we know the Rams get so rushed to pass. And we also know that Jared Goff, when he gets under pressure, turns into a contestant on Dancing with the Stars. And that's not a good thing.
Well, we saw that in Dallas when they were trying to score. Throw a couple into the ground.
Yep.
Throws a pick that way.
Yep.
And then on the 2-point conversion, you see him throw it in the dirt again. I'll tell you, people can disagree with me all day long. Stafford is a Hall of Famer, and Jared Goff will never be a Hall.
No, Jared Goff.
He's, it's just not going to happen.
And hats off to him. He revived his career. He looked like he was headed down after that Super Bowl against New England. He revived it, but he's not ever going to make the Hall of Fame. My pick, though, to wrap this up on my end, I got it close. I'm with you, Dan. This is going to be over under a 7. Nobody's winning more than 7. I'm gonna be a little bit spleeny here.
Okay.
I have the Rams winning by a late touchdown with under 5 seconds to go on Matthew Stafford hitting Puka Nacua for that touchdown to win the game.
What's your points?
I'm going to say Rams by 7, and I'm going to say it's going to be 24-17.
Wow. I'm just going to go on this one. Like I said, I'm going 6. I just don't think there's
7.
You're 7, I'm 6. Okay, that's it, Jess. Thanks. This episode of Last Call was brought to you by SJP Snapshots and Minx Inc. Clothing and Apparel.